It's GT time. I'm your moderator, Kyle Bossman, and joining us, as always, is our uniquely talented and knowledgeable panel, including Brandon Jones.
The mics are really high now.
Sitting in for Daniel Bloodworth, Ian Hink.
Hi.
In the super seat this week, Ben Moore.
I now feel really self-conscious about my mic. I think it's too high.
And in
really
the
high.
booth, sitting in for Ian Hink, Don Casanova.
There he is.
He waved. I asked him to say hi, and he just waved. That's fine.
An admittedly strange episode of GT Time.
What do you mean, admittedly strange?
We got Ian's on the table.
Uh-huh.
Hi,
It's
Ian.
like bizarro
What's up?
GT time.
Everyone really felt like we got to comment on the microphones?
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
It
Mine
sounds
is
good.
Yeah, it sounds so. Like, think of how
Well,
much better
the
we
reason why I
sound.
brought it up is because you were like, "Hey, make the microphones higher," and I did, but it wasn't high enough. Kyle was like, "More, come on."
Yeah, I'm just looking
Best.
out
So
for
it's
our
like-
listeners, man.
Okay.
It does
Our
hurt the
posture's
viewers.
going to be better, hopefully.
Nothing's
yeah.
ever high
Great
enough for
posture.
Kyle.
Ben Moore, you were in the super seat this week.
Yes.
We have a question for you.
Okay.
You've woken up in the body of Sean Diddy Combs. You don't know how long this is going to last. So you call up one musical artist to collaborate with on a song. Who do you choose?
I choose the German metal band Rammstein.
Before you continue, I want to know if they're still together and still performing.
Yes, they're still together. They're still performing.
Okay, great. Okay.
Yes.
So this is easier than I imagined.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, okay.
Yep.
What kind of song are you going to make with Rammstein?
I want Rammstein and I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but
It might
I'm
be
giving it my
Rammstein.
Rammstein. That sounds correct.
I'm not sure.
Rammstein.
Rammstein.
I want them and Sean P. Diddy Combs to make a song about Hostess and how Hostess came back.
The like,
Twinkies people. Yeah.
Have they come back?
Yeah, they're back. You can buy. I was at a grocery store last night and I saw a whole aisle.
That's
of them.
why we need this song.
That's why
Yeah.
we need this song. Yeah, and I want it to be about American idealism.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Secretly on
Yeah.
the underside.
Oh no, it's very obvious.
Okay.
And just imagine Rammstein saying
How do you
Twinkie.
I can't.
I don't
can
have to
easily, but-
anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah. You did it.
How do you spell it? It's R-A-M-M.
Rammstein.
So that's Stein.
Yeah, Rammstein.
Well,
Yeah.
I actually looked up the pronunciation. I ended up on a Newgrounds forum.
Okay, this is great.
This is like the height of Rammstein's popularity
Sure.
in North America when Newgrounds was like extremely relevant.
Yeah.
And I heard Ramstein, which seems way
That
too
seems
American,
really
to be
American.
right.
Yeah.
And then I heard Rammstein, which sounds very powerful in German, so I liked that.
Yeah.
And then I heard Rammstein.
So what I like about German is that with E and I and I and E, this is my German teacher in middle school. I love this. She goes, the first one does the walking, the second one does the talking. And so always, no matter what, if it's IE, it's Ihn, and EI, it's Ein.
yeah, that checks out. I think.
Yeah, and like that's just a nice, pretty, simple language where those things always sound the same. In English, you never know what an IE is going to
Oh,
sound
God.
like.
Never.
Yeah. So it's Rammstein, officially. Don't even send in your corrections. We got it. We
Yeah.
nailed it. Thank you, Ben, for your thoughtful answer.
Uh-huh.
Don, it's time for corrections. Please begin corrections music. Okay, Agumon is 6 letters. Insomniac's VR game is Edge of Nowhere, not Edge of Tomorrow.
Oh, Edge of Tomorrow is a Tom Cruise movie, right?
Absolutely it is.
surprisingly good Tom Cruise movie.
I gotta see that. Okay.
That movie has no business being as good as it is.
I prefer the original title, Live, Die, Repeat.
yeah, exactly.
I think that's the title they switched it to afterward,
Yes.
on like the Blu-ray.
Stephen Fry is the narrator of the Harry Potter audiobooks.
Wrong. Stephen Fry is
That's
the
not-
narrator of the UK audiobooks.
Right.
Uh-oh.
It's somebody else in America.
Oh, no.
Yes, a different man is the. There are 2 different. Harry Potter is that big that there are 2 completely different audiobook sets. One in the UK and one in the US.
One of them's
Brandon-
in English, and then they
Nerd.
translated it to
I don't know how to
English.
handle that.
Kind of like the UK versions of the Harry Potter books use different vocabulary.
Oh, sure. I mean, somebody's got to say philosopher, someone's got to say
yeah,
sorcerer.
sorcerer.
Color
Yeah.
is OUR and stuff like that.
Yeah, okay. So this is the first time I've
Couleur.
handed you a correction, Brandon, and you said wrong.
Jim Dale.
Jim Dale. Yep.
Wait, really? You
Yep,
just
that's
pulled it?
Jim
Yep.
Dale.
I knew it. My friend was talking about it the other day. He
Yep.
was like, Jim Dale, great. And I'm just like, I was like trying to remember
Stephen
it.
Fry's like a better. I can't think of any of the characters' names. A better Snape. You know, like he's a bit like trying to think. All the character names are escaping me right now.
Voldemort.
But like Jim Dale.
Dumbledore.
Yeah, like no, but Jim Dale's Dumbledore is
Gryffindor.
law. Like
Gryffindor.
that. Jim Dale's Dumbledore is Dumbledore. Like even the ones in the
Hufflepuff.
film, I was like, that's fun, but Jim Dale.
Draco
is, that's
Malfoy.
the voice of Dumbledore.
What's Draco Malfoy's dad's name?
Dobby.
Lucius.
Lucius Malfoy. McGonagall.
The engine.
My wife can finally listen to this show.
Who can? The engine Mighty Number 9 is using that is no longer being updated is Unreal Engine 3, which, by the way, is proprietary. So I'm throwing that correction back on the panel.
What happened?
Take that, Bloodworth. I don't know.
Sorry.
I called it a proprietary engine. He's like, no, that wouldn't be right. And it's
No,
like,
that
yes, it
wouldn't
is.
be right.
Yes, it is right. Oh, Brandon, I'm really
Although if it was
disappointed in this
Bloodworth,
one.
it would be like,
No, that wouldn't be right.
sorry, Don.
Harrison Ford got his scar
Yeah.
from crashing into a telephone pole while fumbling for his seatbelt.
Okay.
And
Close.
as he calls it, inept emergency surgery.
It wasn't like bird hunting or something. I was close.
No. Yeah. But you were just like, the seatbelt wrecked him, dude. It's like, no. Don't blame seatbelts here.
He was bird
Okay,
hunting
sorry.
and he
Yeah.
got hit in the face with
Did a
seatbelt.
seatbelt write that comment?
Yes, I think it may have been. I
Not
should
a seatbelt.
I
is
should
the
also note
username.
that many refute the notion that the Wampa attack was put in to cover Luke's scar, including George Lucas himself. It's
Oh, that's
refuted.
not there?
Heavily
Okay.
refuted,
Oh.
even in like the DVDs.
Fair.
For our next correction, no, never mind. Milk does not stimulate mucus production, Ian. That is an old wives' tale. It may thicken phlegm, making it more irritating, but it has no bearing on the amount.
Okay, I believe you. It's still gross as heck, though. Milk is gross.
Milk is weird.
I
Milk
tried
is,
after
like,
having
think about
not
milk.
had milk,
milk.
for years. I tried it and I was like, "This is so thick and gross." Oh, I don't like
Cheese
dairy.
is like the best thing.
Cheese is disgusting and it smells awful.
I love cheese.
I don't
Cheese
understand
is so
you
insanely
people.
good.
For our
Eggs too taste like farts.
For our corrections of the week,
Okay, I can't handle this.
Don, we need to switch to our more dramatic corrections music. Please do that now. This comes from Ard Bias. In Times for Bets, Bossman begins giving context on how last week's bet was bungled, but never actually gets around to the actual bungle itself. The conversation goes something like this. At 1 hour, 20 minutes, and 30 seconds, Kyle Bossman says, Don said that the game gives you tickets, and so we bet on how many tickets this game would give us. Then, Blood interjects with comment on the quality of games at David Buster's. Then, panel gets sidetracked. Then, at 1 hour, 21 minutes, and 58 seconds, Kyle says, all right, so we had that situation. We definitely consulted Judge Ian. We tried to figure out a solution, and here's what we came up with. At 1 hour, 22 minutes, and 5 seconds, Bloodworth says, wait, did you actually explain the situation? Kyle says, yeah, no tickets. Jones says, he said tickets, no tickets. Nowhere prior to 1 hour and 22 minutes and 5 seconds was it explained that Derby Owners Club does not give out tickets. End of correction.
I have a confession to make.
Yeah.
A confession. I knew this.
confession to make.
I knew this. I knew in the moment that you hadn't actually explained the situation, and I chose not to say anything because
I think we would
wanted the
spoil
show
it now
to
by
end.
explaining it.
What I love about this rundown is that it's Bloodworth who interrupts me, and there's the person who says, "Wait, you never explained it." It's like,
Yeah.
come on,
Well, that was,
Blood.
but that was like going to the court reporter for a second. I was like, oh no, I thought I was on trial.
the
That was exciting. It's like a Law and Order episode.
I love that correction. Thank you so much.
Well, wait. Are we actually going to explain what happened?
Oh no.
Oh, okay.
Heavens no. Just know that it was just.
Yeah.
Right, Judge Ian?
It was just.
And just for the record, for today, Don is Judge Don. And
Everyone
Ian is-
agreed, and I lost. It sounds like a GT time bet.
So wait a minute. Just so
yeah.
I'm clear, if in this reality Brandon doesn't win, I'm for it.
Okay. No. Yeah, nothing changed. It was just a
Yeah.
minor correction. Y'all know my favorite way to start an episode of GT Time?
Y'all know my favorite way to start
Celebrity
an episode
death?
of GT
No,
time.
what is your favorite way to start
Talking
an
about
episode?
Star Wars.
Sure, and that's what we're doing. This week, Lego Star Wars The Force Awakens has been announced. This is exactly, listener, viewer, it's exactly what you're expecting. I don't need to play a trailer for you or anything. You know what this is. It's The Force Awakens transferred into a Lego game. I didn't think this was happening, and I want
me
to know
neither,
if
actually.
the panel is thinking this was
Why
happening.
not?
I thought they were going to wait.
Is
for
there money
3,
to be had?
Because that's what they had
Then
done with
it's
other
happening.
Star Wars things. The two other Lego, we've gotten 3 Lego Star Wars games. One was based on Clone Wars. I didn't play it. The other 2 were based on the trilogies. So I thought
Well,
that's what
now
were
they
gonna
can
do
put
again.
this one out, and then they can put the middle one out,
yeah.
and then they can put 8 out.
Which when
and
you
then
say
they can
that's
put
like,
the other
of
one
course.
out, and then they can put 9 out.
It's not just that, though. It's,
Rogue One, Lego, like
It's
Yeah.
strange to see Disney being friendly with Star Wars like this. This is a WB game, and Disney has a monopoly on all Star Wars video games right now, and they're just like EA paid for a license, and for some reason it's just like, no, this is okay still. You can keep making Lego Star Wars games. In
I'm
Lego
sure they paid for a license too.
in Lego Dimensions, there's no Star Wars characters. They're kicked out.
But that's Toys to Life, so that's a different ball game.
yeah, exactly. It's like this weird it's this weird territory.
But you got to keep in mind, like, even within Disney, like, Disney's so huge, even just like Infinity doing the Force Awakens playset, it's not like, oh yeah, they just got on the phone and dealt with the other guy. It's like, it's almost like a separate company, them talking with Lucas and arranging everything and like what can be in the playset and what can't. So as long as Lucas is making those phone calls, they're like, we might as well just get TT on the phone and just do it.
And what do you
Wait,
mean
are
by
they
Lucas?
TT or are they? It's Telltale. Yeah, Telltale's still Telltale. Traveler's Tale is now TT.
Yeah,
Okay.
They
Yeah,
might go
that's
with
what you
TT Games
Yeah.
or something like that. Yeah.
So it's like as long as we're writing a guide as far as like what you can spoil about this movie in a game and what you can't, then we might as well just
Is
get them on the
TT
phone,
Traveler's
make
Tale
another
or
game.
Take Two?
Traveler's Tales.
Take Two is Take Two.
What's Take Two?
Telltale is Telltale. Traveler's Tales is now TT Games.
Take Two is
There's
under,
no Traveler's Tales, but
Take
the other
Two
two
is under
things.
2K.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
What I don't understand is the timing for this game,
Yeah.
right? Because it's coming out well after the movie.
Yes.
And in the old days of video games and tie-ins to movies, they would like no matter what, you always got the sense that no, this has to come out on or before the movie,
Yeah.
even if they came out in like broken, miserable states. And that's not the case here. I don't know if the thought process is like this movie is so big, so monolithic that it doesn't matter. We can release it, later, and it'll still do super well.
Well, that's the crazy thing is the trailer is just the reveal trailer for The Force Awakens. Some
Yeah.
things that are completely irrelevant now. And that's what's really weird about this game is like how much access did they have to what was going on with The Force Awakens?
I think they had a lot. I think this is going to be a lot more spoily than the playset because the playset came out like a week before.
You
I
have
think,
to
or
explain
like
what
almost,
the playset is.
The playset, Disney Infinity playset's like a 5 to 6 hour, like 4 to 5 hour.
The playset.
Really rough approximation of the story. Like there's a couple moments where I'm like, that's not at all how that happened, but okay, just in the interest of time. Whereas I see this, especially considering they got to take this movie and stretch it out over a whole Lego game, which is not enough in my opinion. And they also mentioned they're like, oh, we're going to get into some, between 6 and 7 stuff. Like I don't see that being very elaborate.
Well,
because
there are
it's-
like whole novels and stuff about like Finn and his like 3 other guys and like backstory for that traitor guy and all
But
that.
actually, like applying the stuff that was written in those novels to a game, I think that's too much. Like, because this just seems like a cash grab, whereas like that seems like actual work. As far as like the plot.
Yeah,
department.
what if this game has like a full complete story, like more fleshed out than the movie? It actually
it's
makes
like,
all this
it's like
stuff
the
make
peop-
sense.
The people that are now trying to figure out like the Han Solo film and Rogue One and Episode 7, Episode 8 and 9. Like, I don't think they're gonna spend weeks. Like, we really got to figure out this Lego prequel story.
You are underestimating that. Holy dude. There will be people who, because they heard about that connecting the two movies together,
No, I'm talking about
will
the-
play this Lego game.
I'm talking about the people writing it. I'm talking about the people at Lucas that are responsible for this story. They have story meetings figuring everything out. I
Yeah.
don't think they're going to spend a ton of time on a Lego game.
I don't
So I
you
just don't
normally
see-
think the Legos? You were praising Lego Avengers the other day for having like attention to detail and all kinds of stuff.
But
in it.
to me,
Yeah,
the
but
biggest thing about
Marvel's
the-
not worried about leaking anything because those movies came out years ago. So
What you conveyed to me is how much was in the Avenger game. Like, hey, you want to
Mm-hmm.
just do the Thor Dark World stuff? It's in here. You want to do the first, like, there was
6
so
movies.
much in
There's
there.
just one.
Yeah, and like, why should I be excited about this? What am I going to get from this game?
and like you unlocked
You know.
Unkar Plutt, and you're like, okay.
I'm like, who?
I don't
Unkar
even-
Plutt, good pull, Brandon.
What? What did you just say?
Exactly.
What were those words that you
Even
said?
like Unkar's the guy who owns Ray, the guy who like,
Oh.
I'll give you the rations, and then like
he does not own Rey.
Even Maz Kanata,
Yeah.
like I loved Maz Kanata, fascinating
Yeah.
character.
You can
I unlock
own
her in
the
a Lego
Earth.
game. I don't care. I'm not gonna play
But
as
all
Maz
you'll
Kanata.
own is
like-
Earth until you can paint with all the colors of the wind.
So it's tough. It's really testing my Star Wars love because like I love Star Wars. I love this movie. I love Lego games, but like I'm not that excited about
Ray
this.
looks cool though.
Everybody looks
There she
cool.
is.
Like it's gonna be great.
not
you know?
into
like,
Ray's
yeah.
lips.
Yeah,
Like
Ray's lips look a little too like
Feminine?
40s. Yeah.
Yeah,
and
it's
the
like-
eyelashes.
it's
That's like the opposite of what Ray represents.
Yeah. Guy Legos can just be a line, but
Yeah.
lady Legos have to have lips, and that's not
Ray
that ain't
Ray's
right.
makeup even in the movie is very naturalistic. I didn't realize she was like wearing much.
I
I
want
like
to
the
have
freckles, though.
I want to have a broader conversation about this.
Ray's the best.
Because this game has been announced for, let's just do it all, PC, 3DS, PS3, PS4, Vita, Wii U, Xbox 360, and Xbox One. And I wanted to ask the panel, and it kind of related to what happened last week when we had Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles finally announced for 7th and 8th gens. Does it impact your perspective and your expectations on what a game will be like when it's announced for 7th and 8th generation consoles?
Usually, but not this one.
Yeah, none of it's a series as prolific, as established as Lego, where you're like, you know what you're gonna get. Like,
Yeah,
they'll have to do a lot to surprise you.
The technology getting better doesn't seem to really have an impact on the Lego games. Like, Lego games are at where they're at, and technology can just keep going, and it's not going to change. So they're PS3 games no matter how you shake it.
How about with Ninja Turtles?
The cel-shaded one?
Yeah. Platinum Games making a Ninja Turtles game, you're pumped, and then it's just like, oh, it's also for 7th generation consoles. Does that influence how you think about that? What the scope of that game?
I wonder if they have, because like Destiny, when I heard that, I was like, oh, Destiny's gonna suck.
Yeah.
And then I heard that they had a whole other team or whatever. Was it Destiny? Some game. No, it was Shadows of Mordor. They had some entire other company making they were like basically porting it backwards.
Oh yeah.
So like that's a different situation. I think.
WB's done that a few times. They outright canceled their Mortal Kombat for 8th or 7th gen consoles.
Yeah.
It just didn't happen. I like when they do that. That's okay.
Yeah.
But I got to be honest. I assume it's going to be a lesser game when Ninja Turtles is announced for 7th gen consoles.
Why?
When a new console generation is out and is doing as well as it is now, and they're doing extremely well, you're compromising your game for a fraction of your audience, I feel like, to make it like also working on 7th gen.
I just question like the nature of that compromise, because I think it all comes down to scope, right?
Yeah.
You know,
no.
Not all, but I think that a heavy emphasis is on scope, right?
Sure.
Like when I think about the style that they're using for Turtles, I think the type of game that they're making and how they've made very similar games in the past. Like I would be hesitant to say that it is compromise. Like to me, when you use the word compromise, that like their vision is severely limited by putting this on Xbox 360 or PS3. I don't think that's necessarily the case. I think they're still getting to make the game that they exactly want to make that will run as well as you expect a Platinum game to run. So I don't know if compromise is necessarily appropriate. You know what I mean?
I think the compromise is intangible. Like, would you play that game? Would you play that game for PlayStation 3 and like hit a point where you're like, oh, this is clearly what you can do, or on PS4 and be like, they would add more here. If only it wasn't on last gen.
No,
would you
none
be
of
able
us
to
could
tell?
say that. Yeah, exactly.
So then, who cares?
I mean, the other way I think about it sometimes is like on a PC version of a game, you can change the resolution and the draw distance and the shadows and aliasing and all that stuff. So part of me kind of sometimes assumes that that's just like the PS3 version is at 720 and has this amount of anti-aliasing and can only draw this far. And it's just like a dial. I mean, I know it's not that simple, but like,
Yeah.
it could be just like that. It's just like, there are fewer things on the screen.
I also think you have like very clear like I don't ever want to play Destiny on the Xbox 360. I've seen what it looks like, and I've seen other current generation versions of that game, and it is night and day. Or like there's dramatic differences in Metal Gear Solid 5 on the Xbox 360 and on the PS4. So but when I look at like, I don't know, is Transformers Devastation on 360
Yeah.
and PS3?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
I feel like I've seen both versions of that game, and they're very comparable. I'm not like, oh man, I would never touch that.
Right.
And I think that's important as well.
This graphic style, I think, translates well.
Yeah.
Probably. Yeah.
Cool. Thank you for a very well-reasoned answer. Look at how responsible and mature this panel is today.
Yeah.
We're doing a good job.
Too bad Blood has to come back.
Were you worried? Were you
Yeah.
worried that this was just going to be chaos?
No, I want them to say, hey, we're making a PS4, Xbox One, PC only
No!
Lego game. Yeah, and you're gonna see billions of pieces.
Yeah.
and it's gonna look so good. Because like you can see some of their screenshots, you can already see like that's just a flat panel. You could have done better with that.
Cal, now I'm bummed out because if Michael Huber was here,
Yeah.
he'd be raising that flag.
No. He'd be
know?
on the 360 side.
He's on this. Really, I think he was probably banking
He's-
on me being like, poor people, stop ruining our games.
No.
Something
It was
like that.
I imagine it as a talk me down segment.
Okay.
Talk you down?
Talk me down.
Step back from that
What I'm
ledge, my
saying,
friend.
Kyle Bossman, from me to you,
Yeah.
I want to give you what you want. That's what it's my goal.
Absolutely.
they
you
paint-
could cut ties.
The lives you've been living in.
What's wrong, Ian?
Is in real Legos, like her little shirt, is that a sticker or is that painted directly onto
That's
the
painted onto the thing.
Painted
Okay.
on.
Yeah.
I got
You know-
this actually. I got her.
You got a Ray?
Yeah, you got to see that. It's on my desk right now.
The more that I look at this Lego figure of Rey, I hate it.
Wait,
like,
why?
It just keeps getting worse. Like I don't love that the flap on her pant leg is like
permanently flipped over.
permanently flipped over, and then her foot is just this gray solid color. Like it just doesn't look right. Nothing looks right.
Those
about
are
this.
boots, I
That's
think.
Lego, baby.
That's the Lego, baby.
Also, does her white part of her shirt have a collar like that? Whatever. Ray
Yeah.
is Bay. It doesn't matter.
We don't actually. We don't allow Ray's Bay on the show any longer.
Oh, is that not good anymore?
Yeah, that's been outlawed.
By who?
It is forbidden.
I saw a T-shirt that said Ray is Bay.
That would rip that shirt off that person.
from T Fury. That would be assault.
You're right.
So I think
So
you're
I would take
worse.
I would
than-
take a paint bucket. I would take
That is also assault.
a bucket full of
No,
pig's,
yeah, you
pig's
have to
blood.
understand. I have a podcast, and
Yeah.
I made this clear on the podcast.
Yeah,
if you'd only
yeah.
listened to it, then you would have known not to wear that shirt today.
Yeah.
I don't know. Don't say that. Don't say Ray's Bay. All right.
Why not?
I don't
Just
know.
don't say that.
Just
I
don't.
want to know why. I'm gonna Kyle Bossman you on this
And say explain
why.
why. Bay is. It's one of those ironic words. What we learned that's called post irony.
Post ironic, yeah.
Yeah, where it's just like it's so dumb. People say "bay." Let me make fun of it, and now like people do, and it's still as dumb as it was when it started.
I'm not sure this was an ironic thing. I think that it started maybe. I mean, this is guessing. I think it
Yeah.
started maybe in the hip hop scene in music.
Sure.
When they would describe their significant other as "bae,"
Right.
you know.
Yeah.
And now it's just in the vernacular, and people all say that for everybody.
Nobody. No.
This is my bae.
No, my gosh.
Just four white guys trying to figure it all out.
GameTrailers.com. That should be our slogan.
Just four though. Always just four.
Always just for.
four white guys.
I'm looking this up.
Okay. While Ian looks it up,
How many,
I've
how many white guys are at Game Trailers now? I think they got I don't know, 9 to 10 white guys.
More or less.
They just combined
Over
to
Game
form
Trailers there?
one.
what kind of food they
White
eat?
guy.
They eat a lot of sandwiches.
Yeah.
We actually don't. I mean, unless you count burgers, we eat some burgers.
Yeah.
Man, yeah, I
Burgers
feel
are
like
just really
we
good sandwiches.
we reinforce a lot of stereotypes about white guys.
I'm absolutely excited because this week Bethesda announces that they're coming back to 2016's E3 in a big way. They're doing a press conference again.
The first person in that line is Elder Scrolls. The first person lining up for that arcade machine.
That character
is
called
Elder
Elder
Scrolls.
Scrolls. Yeah.
The Elder Scrolls guy.
If you're a listener, Elder Scrolls is obviously that character from Skyrim who wears that one
That
helmet.
is the Dovahkiin.
Okay, that it just makes me so mad.
What?
It makes me so mad that Elder Scrolls, where have been many great games and many great settings, and it's been so expansive. Like that was originally the whole point of Elder Scrolls, is that you had all these different lands that had all these styles. Elder Scrolls is just fucking Skyrim now. It's just that dude with the helmet.
Yeah.
It's just the Nords, and it's been so watered down and homogenized in a really gross way because Skyrim was so successful. Like that's not what made Elder Scrolls interesting to me. I used to always go to bat for that series, and now it's just
But you got
boring.
Elder Scrolls Online.
But
You
that
go wherever you
it
want.
just looks like Skyrim. Elder Scrolls Online is just the Skyrim style to everything, and it sucks. Think about what an Elder Scrolls Online should have been. It's not that.
What should it have been, and what did they get wrong?
Okay, so have you ever played Morrowind?
No, dude.
Okay, it's an incredible game. You should go play it.
I've seen the villages. I've seen the villages of Morrowind. They're
Yeah,
cool.
yeah. So you in Morrowind, okay, you know how you get from like how you fast travel? You get on this giant insect creature that has this weird, gross shell and these like really long, spindly legs.
Okay.
Okay. You don't get that in Skyrim. In Skyrim, you just get dragons and
Yeah.
carriages. It's all boring.
People would get checked
Okay.
out if they saw that insect
What-
in Skyrim.
Yeah, what Elder Scrolls Online should have been is when you go to Morrowind, it's weird. People have mushroom houses. They have like these weird insect guys traveling around. You know, it shouldn't just be Nords everywhere. That's what I'm saying. Every place should feel distinct and memorable, and not just like an extension of this multi-million-dollar.
I
game.
agree with Ben.
Ben, that was a really. I really liked how you articulated that rant.
Yeah.
But we got to talk about E3.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Well,
Real
I think
quick, though.
I think there's likely that an Elder Scrolls will get teased at E3.
Brandon, last week you said there's no way Bethesda will have an E3 press conference again.
Did I say no way or did I say it was unlikely?
You said no way, and here you,
You
are.
seemed pretty sure.
Here you
I
are
didn't think
this
they'd have
week.
enough. I didn't think they'd have because that's the thing. It's like if you
That's
if you
never
s-
stopped EA.
If you say right, I think EA is kind of just stuck on the wheel of like doing the same thing.
in
every
9
year.
years, we might have a game.
But EA likes to let you know they're still working on stuff. I didn't think past Doom and maybe Dishonored 2, I didn't think that was enough for a press conference. So clearly there's something else.
So minor update before we get back to this E3 business. We found out Doom's coming out in May today.
Ooh.
So Doom will be old news by the time this
They're
press
doing
conference
a
comes out.
Conan O'Brien special.
Yes,
with
they
it,
are.
yeah.
Yeah. The clueless gamer.
Mm-hmm.
He still doesn't get it. So,
Hey, wait. Do we want to know what Bay means?
all right, give us your Bay update before we really dig into this.
There are some theories that it stands for before anyone else.
Right.
But Time Magazine posits that could just be a BS explanation put in later.
I believe that more
the
than
most
anything.
the most common explanation is that it's just a shortening of babe.
Right.
So you use
Yeah.
it to describe your boyfriend or girlfriend.
Right.
Your
I
feel
significant other.
I feel
Yeah.
like you just described the internet in its entirety. Like that sounds reasonable, but it could be BS.
Yeah.
You
know?
Yeah.
I mean, it's just if you would say boo or babe, or boyfriend, girlfriend, significant other, you could say bae.
yeah. So stop saying Ray is Bay.
Why not?
She
She's
ain't-
significant.
She ain't yours.
Yeah,
She ain't
yours.
nobody's.
Who's the guy with the
Ray
flat top and
is
the knife? And the
That
machine
is
gun?
that is Wolfenstein.
Yeah, BJ
is that-
Blazkowicz.
is that Blazkowicz?
No, I think his name is Wolfenstein, just like the guy who
Yeah,
flies
he's-
named Elder Scrolls.
Who's this guy?
Captain
Dishonored
Wolfenstein.
guy.
That's his name is Dishonored.
Yeah.
I think Bethesda is in a perfect position this E3, because there's stuff is going to be there, which is super exciting. Like Dishonored 2 is going to be there, which I am personally excited about. I think it'd be really cool. I like the first one a lot, but there's also so much of and Fallout 4 DLC is going to be there for sure.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that's
definitely.
a given.
Yeah.
So actually, Ben, I want to play a game.
Okay.
I got a list of
I'm
things
just gonna finish that thought.
that will
but-
probably be there.
You don't get don't worry about it.
That's
Yeah.
You don't get to finish that.
I think you'll get to finish that thought.
Okay. I'm just joking.
We're gonna do our hype levels on the games that may or may not be there.
0,
So Dishonored 2. Is it still 0?
4.
Okay.
Wait,
what's-
hype level meaning how excited we are for it to be there or how likely it'll be there?
No. I'm determining how likely.
Likely.
Brandon, we're gonna talk this to
Wait.
death between now and E3. You know what I mean? We're gonna talk about this 1,000 times.
Well, if it works the same way last year, we'll find out some stuff before
Yeah.
E3.
Wait,
Fallout
wait.
4
Right
got
now,
announced before their press conference.
We're hyped about how much we think something
no,
will be there.
Ian, I just want to right now check in on how excited you are
But
about
you
these
said
games.
yes to that question 1 second ago.
I did not say yes to that question. We're gonna have somebody coming in with
Check
the
the tapes.
transcript.
Court reporter.
Yeah. Dishonored 2. How excited are you for that game right now? What's your hype level, Jones? Don't think about this. You're thinking about this for too long.
10 is most hyped.
That means low. It means he's definitely
No
low.
No,
decimals.
I'm trying to figure out if it's a 7 or an 8.
Okay.
7
Okay.
right now because I need more. I need to see more. The world could be real dumb. They could show like a whole nother level that I'm like, what's in a sky temple with glass? And no, I'm
Yes,
not into
please.
this. You know,
Yes,
like
please.
there's unicorns and no, too much. Like,
Yes,
But
Who
what
knows?
about like steampunk mechanical unicorns?
see, there we go. Now we're getting okay.
Yeah.
Because you know they're
That's
gonna
an
be,
8.
and they're gonna have like a face on them.
Yeah.
like
I want a
weird
level
face.
inside of a whale.
Dude, a mechanical super whale.
What if they show like more cartoony characters who their eyes are like too far up on their heads?
Oh my god.
That'd be bad.
I can't do it.
The new Wolfenstein, I think, is definitely going to be announced at this press event.
Wait, we gotta do hype for everyone. Just quick bang bang bang. Each
Okay.
game.
All right. Yeah. Brandon just took so long on that one.
Okay, you're
Okay.
right,
So
you're right, I'm
sorry.
he took up.
Yeah.
He used up your time.
You don't get to finish that thought. Ben.
No. What's your hype level? What's your hype level for
8.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
And Ian, what's yours?
Yeah, like a 4 or 5.
Why is yours 8, man? You're the highest.
Because in Dishonored at its best, right? You'd go into a level and your mind would run wild with how can I do this? And that's always interesting to me in Hitman or Deus Ex or Dishonored. Like when you accomplish that from a design perspective, it's super cool to me. That's
Cool.
my short answer.
I
Wait,
love
but
that.
the main girl is a girl with a cool outfit, right?
Yeah, that's gotta raise your hype.
6.
All right, thank you.
New Wolfenstein.
8.
3.
9. These fools.
Yeah.
I want to go 9, but the
These
reason I'm not
fools.
is like really think about like what else could they do with Nazis, man? Like I question like what.
What else?
You know
could
what? That's
they
what
do?
people said. What could they do with a new Wolfenstein game? What are they going to do with the New Order? They're just going to dredge this back up. It's going to just
Yeah.
be like the 2008.
But
no.
can they do that again?
Yeah,
I don't know.
Okay. The people that made Wolfenstein,
Yeah, here we
I
go.
think are some of the most exciting and creative people in first-person shooters today. You are underestimating them right now. Whatever they announce, whether it's Wolfenstein related or not, they're going to crush it.
I'm curious, yeah.
I believe in them.
Machine games?
Machine games.
If you're taking us to the moon, if you're doing anything like that again, don't spoil it in the trailer, please, is all I ask.
Fair.
Don't do that.
They should play it straight in the trailer, and then the game is like half black and white, and like
Yes.
it's like there's no shooting. You're just like
What if you are a Nazi?
that's the way.
Oh no.
It's an intertwined storyline.
Wolfenstein, Third Reich.
Intertwined storyline where you start the game and you think you're the good guy, but then you realize you're a Nazi, man. And then you play as someone else, and then their storylines intersect, and you have to, because you've been playing as the bad guy, so you know how terrible they are.
Can you give a game where you're a Nazi a high score? Can you be like, yeah, this game
No,
is
because
awesome?
the whole
I mean-
point will be showing. It's like Times Arrow, man.
Whoa.
I
it's
mean,
like-
it's the thing. Like people were Nazis. Humans were Nazis,
I
and
wouldn't
then
call them people or humans.
that's the thing, Ian, is that you have to accept.
That's the point of this game, is that
Yeah.
it's humanizing this villain,
right.
so that you see the duplicitous nature of man.
Like calling
Man?
calling,
Man?
like that's the strange thing, and that's what I don't like is like calling Nazis monsters. Like makes it like just like that they were just monsters.
Or
Like,
Creates
evil.
distance. Yeah,
those
yeah.
were humans.
I've seen
You
people
know-
say, but you're like,
yeah.
oh, they were just evil, and you're like, that simplifies it. That's
Yeah.
that,
Yeah.
that-
No,
you
but
can't just
that's
write
the
it off
thing.
like that.
evil monsters, the most evil monsters are the ones that are really human. Whoa.
Whoa.
You're the evilest
Ted
monster I
Bundy,
know. Ian.
very charming man, apparently.
My favorite thing about GT time, I'm serious,
Yeah.
is when it gets deep and then we move on. I love it.
then
That
we're
is
like,
not an
so
insult.
anyway,
I
Time
love
to
it.
talk about the Elder
Elder
Scrolls
Scrolls.
card game.
Oh, boy.
So this card game was announced at their E3 press conference last year. Fell flat
yeah.
immediately.
Oh yeah.
Will
No
that-
wait, no wait.
Will that
no, wait.
even appear?
Clip art.
Yeah.
No.
1. Hype level 1.
Yeah.
Give me more hype levels.
No, 0.
Okay.
Okay, all right,
Ian,
I'm going to change my answer to 0.
Ian, give me your hype level
I
for
have
the
a
Elder
dual
Scrolls
hype
card game.
level.
0 means
on
I
this,
don't want it
Bossman.
there.
Yeah.
I have a hype level of 1,
Uh-huh.
but I also have a hype level of 9 because I just am interested to see how spectacularly weird this is going to be.
It's not going to be weird as a thing.
It's
gonna
like,
be
not weird in like a whoa, weird
Yeah.
as in like ooh.
It is going to be depressingly derivative.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Elder
And it's gonna be
Scrolls with his
fantastic.
classic helmet will be one of the cards.
Yes.
Yeah,
Sir
it would be like,
Elder
it'd be like your
Scrolls.
legendary card is goddamn Nord person.
Yeah. Fuss
Get
road
out
dog.
of here.
A sequel to The Evil Within. This is
Ooh.
there's no chance of this, but
No.
Yeah, no.
There's a chance.
But
there's
say-
like a 15%
There's
chance.
always a chance.
SafeEd is on the image. They at least acknowledge that he is part of the Bethesda family.
We're proud of this series we're never going to work on again.
Yeah.
He's got a smartwatch on.
But let's we're not saying hey this
Like a
will or
Moto
won't happen.
360.
Just hype level.
We're just saying our hype level. Let's say they even just tease an Evil Within sequel. Like how hyped are you for that? The potential of that.
7.
9.
10.
Wow.
Whoa, a 9 and a 10.
Whoa.
Why are we so hyped on the Evil Within?
Evil Within was good. Except for that dog fight.
Okay.
Couldn't do it.
The most interesting games
Yeah.
that exist, period, are games that are pretty significantly flawed, but you think have a ton of potential, right? The good points are so good that you just want to see them keep going, right? Not the Call of Duties where you're like, well, they did everything they could do, wrap this one up, ship it. You know, like Evil Within has problems, but it is the closest we've gotten to a successor to that classic survival horror style that just want to see them keep going. Keep making those games. The world needs them.
Cool. Plus, just think about how happy little Michael Huber would
Yeah,
be.
and that was an
just
extra
the
point
look
for
on
Huber
his
there.
face, yeah.
Yeah,
That brought me up to a 9.
yeah.
I think for me, I'm like an 8.
I don't
But
know.
The Huber,
Right,
the Huber hype brought
yeah,
me to 9.
Exactly.
The Elder Scrolls sequel. So let's talk about the tease that Brandon thought was maybe coming. I assume if it's anything, it won't be much. But let's say, okay, here we go. We're on a next generation. We're making an Elder Scrolls game for your PCs and your consoles as good as we can. It's not going to be on 360, everybody. Don't even worry about it. How hyped are you for that potential?
10.
2.
Whoa.
It's going to be a bloated, buggy, humanoid monster nightmare.
How can you say that already?
Because Bethesda sucks at making games! Like, their people are vile monsters and
They're
there are
not-
bugs
oh,
everywhere
okay,
and the
no.
worlds are bland and huge. I love picking flowers, though.
Oh, you mean the people in the game are vile monsters?
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Have you seen them?
What you said is Bethesda can't make games. The people are vile monsters, and I was like, oh,
The
God.
people at Bethesda. quothgametrailers.com.
It is refreshing in a way, though. Like, it is hilarious that like no one in Skyrim is attractive at all. Like even attractive people,
Even,
they're
like-
like, "Ooh, check out
Yeah.
Maisie over there," and
Yeah.
you're like,
I'd be like, "Bah!"
and they
I
like
don't
zoom
think-
in on them.
It's like-
I
it's like
don't
that
think that's
scene-
by design. I do not think that's
It's
by
like that
design.
scene in Appaloosa when Renee Zellweger gets off the train and then Hugh Jackman or whatever like falls in love with her, and you're just like, my God, whoa.
There are some admittedly funny-looking people in Elder Scrolls, and like with funny voices that are clearly supposed to be like Carol Burnett, just
Yeah.
like comedic characters.
Yeah.
And that's one thing that frustrates me about a lot of MMOs. That like I want to be fat, I want to be
Yes.
ugly,
Yeah.
like I want to have a big mole, like I want to,
Play Saints Row then.
right, yeah.
Can I just be unjustifiably cynical about this?
Yeah, we don't have your hype level yet.
Okay, yeah. I'm going to say 1, and now the horns point up.
Battle Cry.
that would raise the stakes.
Hype level for Battle Cry. Let me.
Oh my God.
What is that?
Before you give us zeros, let me say this. Here's why I'm a little excited about Battle Cry. Is
No,
that
for real. Which one's Battle Cry?
Battle Cry?
The swords one? The
There are
World
swords.
War One melee game?
No, it is. It's another like old
Isn't
alternate timeline.
I could show you 3 minutes of Battle Cry, and you would know about as much as you know now.
Yeah, it's it's a third person team versus team
All melee.
multiplayer game.
Right?
No, it's not all melee.
I thought it was all melee. I thought it
No,
was
no,
like
there's
a-
definitely some arrows and guns and cannons and
okay.
stuff.
But it is like alt universe. It does take place.
Very
like-
bloody.
Yeah,
Steampunk World War One.
exactly. Yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah.
more military than steampunk. Like they're very.
Okay, whatever.
It's weird.
Uh,
Lots of armor.
what
and,
happened
like,
was-
shiny helmets and stuff.
that game was like on track to come out this year. They gave it a hard postponement. They said we
Yeah.
need to figure out this game. We're recognizing this is going to flop hard, and so I'm a little excited to see Battle Cry resurface if it ever does. I'm so happy they said this looks okay. We know this looks bad actually. Let's work on this.
I think
No.
I think that the Battle Cries and Battleborns of this world need to just look at the temperature of the room and say, "Oh, okay, we should go out back and shoot this piece of garbage."
Well, they did. No. They said let's go back and salvage this piece of garbage.
no.
Ca-
No,
Kyle,
no. Old Yeller needs to die.
I have a question for you because I actually
Yeah.
don't know. Has there ever been a game where like it's been in development so long, every single time we've seen it, there's been a terrible response to it that has been like saved in the end? Like, has that ever happened?
Wow.
question.
You know, because
Yeah.
you have like your Final Fantasy Versus 13s, which were in development forever, but the response to that was
so
always
strong.
glowing. You know,
Yeah.
like
I think so.
Final Fantasy
Yeah.
14, because it came out and everyone hated it, and then they actually like.
It's
kinda
a day
tried to
now. It's a
fix
different
it.
story.
Yeah, it's sort of different.
This is like until like it never it
Yeah.
had never come out.
the thing is, I don't think Final Fantasy
remember that happening. I
14
can't
was
think of an
written
example.
off until people
Right.
got their hands on
I've
it.
seen
Right.
it turn around though. I've seen it turn around. There was a very dismal reception to the reveal of Super Mario 3D World, I would say.
Okay, but
that game came
I'm
out and it
not
was
just
terrible.
talking. The tricky thing about this is I'm not just talking about reveal. I'm
Yeah.
saying every
Consistently.
single bit of footage.
Yeah. And then completely turns around.
Right, and
That's-
people are like, hey, this is okay. Maybe
just wait for that mighty number 9.
I will say Borderlands. You know, the first one.
Sure.
Like I feel like that was tepid until the end.
Yeah.
And then it just kind of blew up. So.
I have an idea for Battle Cry. Advertised to teenagers ironically. Maybe a bunch of people will ironically like your game. Just like, yeah, I'm playing
Post-ironic
Battle Cry.
game. Yeah, it's a post-ironic game.
It's actually deep if you get into it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
one
just
will ever
figured
know.
I'm totally playing Battle Cry right now.
Oh my God, that's hilarious,
One trophy away from the plat.
dude. I already got the plat. Whatever.
You hear that, teenagers?
Yeah, like 1% of people have it.
Yeah, it's hilarious.
Before we move on, I just really quickly want to ask, do you think if any other publishers will step up like Bethesda did last year and say, hey, we're doing a press conference?
Ubisoft,
Well,
Capcom.
Ubisoft always does.
No.
but they're gonna do their own like EA thing next year. I bet.
Maybe. They do absolutely could.
E3 is not going to be a centralized thing in 5 years. It'll be the same week. It'll be a week and a half. Mm-hmm. It'll be the same period of time.
Yippee!
Yeah. We're all going to die and Jones is going to love it.
Yeah.
And then it'll be like a bunch of different hotels where anyone can go to it.
That already happened with E3.
It
Like,
did?
That
We're getting
the Santa Monica years where E3
Oh,
just
right.
happened at a bunch of hotels, and it was really depressing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
it's
then it
going
came
back, baby.
No, it's not. It ain't going back to that.
It's going back, but it's not
E3
gonna be
waxes
sad.
and wanes, right?
Yeah.
Like maybe we're on the downward slope, but it'll pick back up again.
I definitely
Yeah.
think we're on an upward slope.
You think so?
Last year's PlayStation kind of saved it in my eyes.
I
Like,
think even without that, I think it was huge. I think that because we had that Bethesda press conference, we didn't even talk about it. Bethesda's press conference last year was excellent.
But they don't have a bullet shaped like Fallout 4 anymore. Like I just don't think announcing a new Elder Scrolls now is going to have the same impact that Fallout 4 did. You know?
Sure,
Like-
absolutely.
Like they announced that game, and until it came out, that was the most anticipated game, you know, of anything. And I don't know if they can make that magic happen again.
I
Right.
feel like to justify this, I feel like they need to unveil some new IP that's just going to be like, whoa.
Yeah.
You know, even if it doesn't come out until 2018, like whatever, like if they just come out with something nobody's expecting, that's why you have another press conference this year.
The
'Cause
Elder Scrolls
with all these games,
2077.
it doesn't really seem like, I don't know. Yeah.
The guy still has
It's
the
like
horns.
cyber.
I
punk.
think if they follow the trend of what they did last year, it's like, here's all the stuff we're going to talk about. Hi, we're Bethesda. Let's talk about the things we were going to talk about. Look at them. Aren't they great? Have a funny 3. Like, I'd be surprised if they announced.
And
Well, I was
then they're just
surprised
like,
when
Boosh, new crazy thing that
Yeah.
changes everything.
when Overwatch
But the
was
people look terrible.
announced. I was like, don't listen to me. Never mind.
Yeah.
Anything
Yeah.
I said about BlizzCon this year, I was wrong.
Yeah. Nobody expected Overwatch. That was so fun. It came right after they announced that they canceled Titan. Oh,
Oh,
I
yeah,
love
that was a fun time.
That series of events, they set
Yeah.
everybody up so well. Gosh, that's how you do it.
That's
That-
kind of like how
how you do
Sony
it.
did it, like with the fake out Final Fantasy VII thing. They knew, like,
Yeah.
they knew what they were doing
Yeah.
for sure.
I don't think that was as in sync as I think that was just
Sure,
kind of
yeah,
a
yeah,
happy accident that someone saw coming and was like, oh,
Yeah.
wait,
Yeah.
there we go.
Yeah.
Whereas, Blizzard's very smart.
I think Sony changed the game last year, though. I think that to really wow at E3, you got to get some fireworks. You know, you got to pull some things and freak people out and get like, whoa, you know, this is
Yeah.
the thing we've
Yeah,
always
but
wanted.
you can't. You can pull that trick like once every few years.
Yeah.
Like there are no Shenmue 3s. There are no Final Fantasy 7 remake. Like
Can you
They're
imagine
taken
though?
that real estate?
Can you imagine
Yeah.
though, like instead of a we're ending our presser on Call of Duty, whatever. Like, what if we got into like a quality war, where like every company was trying to like better each other with actual good shit?
That's 97. That's what makes 97 so
Yeah.
good.
You know what would excite me is if Adam Boyes gets up there and he says, every game released on PlayStation 4 from here to the end of the year will work. Like that would excite me. That would be the big announcement.
No more glitches.
You
But I
can't
mean,
promise
quality's
that,
not
Adam.
E3.
Yeah.
E3's
No, I'm not even saying that they don't have bugs. That like legit will work. Like
Okay.
if you spend $60 on this, you can play it.
It'll turn on.
That's what I want.
Cool.
You'll get past the title screen.
I don't know how to handle this next one. Basically, Nintendo.
I like the cat.
This is perfect.
Yeah, our headline is Nintendo's non-NX 2016 plans. We had another.
Technically, it's Nintendo's non-NX plans for 2016, Colin.
Sure, thank
This
you.
is your show. I don't
Yeah,
want to.
yeah.
I don't
The
want to
li-
step on your toes.
The
here.
listeners deserve that. Yeah.
Yeah. Just wanted the experience to be the same.
Basically, we had an investor meeting.
I hate myself.
Why? What's going on?
Huh?
Why do you hate yourself?
Just 'cause I don't know. Because sometimes I like do a thing,
Yeah.
and then I'm just like, that was not necessary.
Yeah, I
I
feel
didn't.
that.
I didn't need to do that.
I feel that way too.
You
Ian,
see
how
how
about
much
myself?
Kyle does it, you know?
Yeah.
Just
Oh,
be like Kyle.
But the difference between me and Kyle,
Yeah.
Kyle and I,
Yeah.
is that
No, me and Kyle.
I recognize it. Kyle will just keep on going, and he doesn't know. He's a sociopath.
It's right.
Look at him. His glasses have been crooked for 45 minutes.
Brandon's right. You should use me there.
I know.
Okay. That's like nothing more than when people say "and I." when
And you know
don't
what else,
need to.
Kyle?
No,
You're
yeah.
only an average sniper.
It's even worse when people say "whom" when they don't need to. It's like, hey, you don't need "whom" there. You're just trying to sound smart.
Were and was is another good one.
Love where and was.
The one that drives me nuts is farther and further.
So, Ian-
farther is distance. Further is for theoretical things.
basically.
Less
all-
and fewer.
All of
That's
this is
me up to.
unnecessary.
And when
Not
people don't do
necessarily
when people don't
theoretical.
put ly on the ends of things, that was the part when I liked Stannis, when he was just when he corrected somebody's grammar in that meeting.
Fewer. I think he
Anyway.
said fewer.
Yeah, he said fewer. Yeah.
What is Stannis? What are you talking about?
Game of
Game of
Thrones?
Thrones.
Game of Thrones.
Dumbass.
Ew, gross.
Yeah.
Join
I knew
this
that would be
human
the
race.
response.
Yeah.
That show's whatever.
I don't want to join that human
That
race.
show's, you know, I like that show, but at some
Yeah.
point it's got to matter because it's like
Oh, it's
I've
gonna
got-
matter. Oh,
I've
it's gonna
got
matter,
a
dude.
crappy life. You don't
No,
have to
we're-
teach me that life is pointless and
We're
everyone
3
dies.
months away from
You
from
wouldn't
it
like
starting to
Darkest
matter.
Dungeon.
Yeah, I've read the books. There's some good stuff that's about to happen.
We've already caught up to the books, Kyle. That joke is out of
Almost.
date.
Is it really?
Almost.
Yeah.
No, almost.
Oh, yeah,
Arya's
almost.
storyline,
You know,
I think,
there's
has
some
a
good
little
stuff
bit
in the
of stuff
books that we haven't
does
seen yet.
Sometimes.
What happened? What at Nintendo?
No,
Sorry.
basically, they've refused to talk about NX. You know what I mean? It's been almost a year. I think we're at 10 or 11 months at this point. Since the mention of the NX, nothing else has been mentioned about the NX.
That seems like your classic Nintendo bad decision.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Basically, here's what we do know about. They've talked about My Nintendo heavily. My Nintendo has been announced previously, but now we have some details about it. Here's how My Nintendo is going to work. It's got a bunch of features, like you're going to get discounts on games Nintendo thinks you will like. You're going to have that. You're going to have the ability to find a game online on the Nintendo store, purchase that game, and then your console will download it for you.
Impossible. Yeah. Nintendo doesn't have the back end for this idea.
They do. They can do that. And then here's the weird thing. We used to have Club Nintendo. We used to have this thing where if you buy a bunch of games, you get points, and then you get prizes at the end of the year, or throughout the year, actually. What we have now is gold and platinum points. Here's how these work. Platinum points. We will offer platinum points when consumers play smart device apps, when they log into Nintendo eShop, or when they meet certain conditions. You can exchange your platinum points for a range of digital content, which will be considered valuable by consumers.
This is the worst thing ever.
Which will be considered valuable to consumer. Wow. Wow.
I love that language.
I love that. That's basically just that's like the boilerplate, like you jotted down an idea.
Yeah.
But that's their press release. It's just
like
it'll
if-
be great. They'll love it.
Do you remember how you felt when you excitedly punched in codes into Club Nintendo and you were waiting for that awesome statue or that set of sick-ass Zelda posters? Like how you felt like, oh man, I'm actually being rewarded for buying all of those games.
Yeah.
This takes all of that excitement and all that nostalgia I have for that program and just makes it gross.
No, Ben. You, as a consumer, will consider this valuable. Let me assure you that.
The press
I swear to
release wouldn't
God.
lie, but
With that slide, they had images of Mii costumes and 3DS themes. So I think that's what you can expect to get with your platinum points. But let me tell you about gold points, Ben. We will offer gold points for digital purchases of Wii U and 3DS games. Gold points can be exchanged for discount coupons to purchase digital software for Wii U or 3DS. By offering the two different types of points, platinum and gold, we will provide our consumers with two forms of value: fun and good deals.
It's interesting that the gold is less than the platinum. That like obviously platinum's better than gold, right?
Yeah,
so
yeah,
they
right,
in,
but
in
gold
their
is like a
eyes,
better value.
costumes are better than games.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, that's interesting.
I'm like, that's
It has
backwards
more
to me.
value.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gold, you spend more money, and only digital purchases. Sorry, Ben, you'll never have a code with a physical game that you buy anymore. Nintendo only wants to reward you for buying digitally.
It's because they're going all digital on the NX, baby. That
Maybe.
thing's not even gonna have a disc drive. They've been dicking around with the disc drive since the beginning.
I feel
Cartridges.
like for the last 5 years, Nintendo has been in this perpetual state of 75-25 with me.
What does that mean?
Where like 75% of the things they do, I get extremely upset at and angry about. I'm
Yeah.
just like, this is so obvious. Why are you doing this? But then that 25% is so good that I'm still on the hook. Like I'm
Yeah.
still there. I'm still supporting them fully. Like Bayonetta 2, that was that 25%, and I was like, yeah, I'm in. Whatever happens, I'm okay with
They
you,
get
Nintendo.
it. They get it.
Yeah, and now
Yeah. They're
today
back. Yeah.
there's that rumor that they're going to localize Mother 3 finally, and it's like that's enough for me.
Yeah.
And I'm so frustrated at myself that Nintendo can just pull these little tiny things out of their pocket when most of what they do is infuriating.
That's the question I have, and I don't want to sound overly cynical, but like my split on Nintendo would probably be like 90-10, because
Sure.
I think like since the 64 they've been making very strange decisions, like limiting themselves, like intentionally. It seems like they limit themselves, and it's just like what? Oh God, I lost what I was gonna say now. But like.
You feel like
Nintendo, why? Like,
you're 90-10. Brandon, where are you?
oh no, that's what I was gonna say. Sorry,
Yeah.
I remember now. Like,
Yeah.
why do we give them this pass? Like, is it the nostalgia for their games? Because they basically just repaint the same pig. And
What do you mean,
no,
give
no,
them
no,
a
no, no,
pass?
no, no.
We don't
That's-
give them a pass.
no.
They don't repaint the same pig. They make some of the best video games that
Yeah.
anyone is still making.
So
I don't know that that's
no,
true.
Kyle's totally right. The thing about Nintendo is every single year they release super great games, like excellent games, whether it's on 3DS or Wii U. There are games that I'm like, wow, everybody should play this. Like Mario Maker last year, I was like, this could
Mario
only
Maker is
happen
good, yeah.
because of Nintendo. And so I feel like a lot of times it's not the games that Nintendo makes. Like they've kind of got the most important part down for the most part. It's just everything surrounding it. It's the shell around these games is consistently frustrating.
Okay,
But
yeah.
as time has gone on, I would argue that shell, that infrastructure, has gotten more important. So it's become more infuriating.
Yeah, I guess that's a good point. And I think Nintendo is putting more and more of their own focus on their Nintendo, the company, and less on the games.
Brandon, I want to share one more thing and get your impression on this. At the end of this presentation, Nintendo announced that their plan, their first milestone, is to have 100 million users on My Nintendo. Let me give you some comparisons. Last week, Microsoft announced that Xbox Live has 48 million monthly active users. Steam has 125 active users. Is 100 million for My Nintendo hopeless?
I think hopeless is kind of severe. Is there a difference between hopeless and never going to happen?
No.
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 Misguided, maybe.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, not likely, extremely unlikely. Those are the words I will stamp
Okay.
onto that, the probability of that.
Yeah. To me, like, even just saying that just says, oh, you're crazy. Good
That's
luck.
what
And
I
you
was
know
gonna
what?
say. Is like they're
Yeah.
delusional.
Yeah.
Like
You know what?
Nintendo is delusional.
I think one of the biggest reasons, honestly, for me, is that it's a new thing. Doesn't matter what they're doing. Just the fact that they were like, yeah, that thing we did before, screw that. That's gone. Any work you did towards that, gone. Now we're doing this new thing. And it's just like, okay, cool. How long is this going to last? Until this is gone. So it's like every time you keep
Yeah.
doing that, like, it's just tough for me to.
And they keep, like,
that,
closing
and that to
open-
me
yeah.
kind of plays against the nostalgia. You know, it's like if you don't have things like Nintendo Power, if you don't have things like, you know, it's like, is Treehouse still around? Are they still doing Treehouse?
Absolutely.
When did they end that someday? You know, it's like
Well-
when stuff like that goes away and they do new initiatives, my first impulse is never like, ooh, this is great. I'm glad they're doing this. It's like, what happened? What went wrong? Like, why are you?
Here's the
why
thing,
couldn't
though.
you keep doing
Do
that?
we know how many PSN subscribers there are? Because
I couldn't find solid numbers
Okay.
on that. They don't really talk about it.
because
but,
like Microsoft is not in Japan, pretty much, and then like Steam. I don't know how big Steam is in Japan, but like if you are required to have a My Nintendo account to be on your 3DS, you know,
you won't be.
I bet that you will be.
You'll be required to have a My Nintendo account to get those sweet platinum points.
I bet like that whatever comes next, you have to sign in to
Okay,
do.
well, actually, here, let me give you another weird thing. This
And
kind of
then
relates.
they might hit that number because of Japan having mobile gaming.
So let's talk about Miitomo, Nintendo's first mobile app. That's launching in March. In
Japan?
Mid-March in Japan, later March across the planet.
Ooh.
Well, no, in 16 countries. But yeah, we'll have that game in.
How are we going to
Later
stream
March.
Miitomo?
We're not streaming Miitomo.
point the webcam at the phone.
Okay, but here's what you can do. You can pre-register February 17th. You can pre-register for Miitomo. That's going to require a My Nintendo account. You will earn platinum points for pre-registering for Miitomo.
Thank God. I was worried.
Even though My Nintendo hasn't even launched yet
Gotta
at
get my
that point,
points.
you're going to get points when My Nintendo does launch. So that's the type of thing where like, oh, I'm getting platinum points, baby. So yeah, I think they're just like, oh, what? There's 500 million cell phones out there. We can easily get 20% of that. I think part of that
That's what
100
they're
million.
thinking, yeah.
Yeah, and I have to question that. I don't know how successful My Nintendo can be.
Did you ever get the Bloodborne Platinum theme?
That was only for
Sony?
Europe.
Only for Europe?
That was a cool thing. We should talk about that thing.
Never got it.
In Europe, if you get a platinum in Bloodborne, you get a free theme that no one else gets.
And
That
I
is
thought
very cool.
Everyone thought Americans were going to get it, but we didn't.
We don't deserve it.
Stupid
That's
America.
true. We don't deserve it.
Let's what's next? Oh, I know what's next. It's Love and Respect. Sorry, as I shuffle my papers around, I got a lot of pages this week.
Love and respect.
So I don't ever do this. I don't ever give a person back-to-back love and respects. But Efraï Stellaire, who we talked about last week, there's more to the story. I love this. So
The
we got
thick plottins.
Yeah, the thick is plotted, and I
It's
want
like a
to.
Netflix documentary.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, yeah.
Chapter 2.
Steve Avery's back at it again.
Yeah, so I kind of want to. I want to go into this. Let's do it. Thanks for discussing my question, GT. It was interesting to get your perspective on the topic. I left out part of the reasoning behind the question to keep it as short as possible, but I just have to get this out of my system. My following comment is going to be even longer, potentially even harder to follow. I cut out a bunch of stuff, so apologies about that beforehand. I currently work in a large mobile game company, and we're working on a game very similar to Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. Side note, the game Seven Knights appears to be the original game of this kind, which is now being copied by everyone and their dog. So unfortunately, I can't simply ignore these games that steal everyone's time and money. I have to deal with them every day, making our game more addictive, increasing the infection rate, lowering the resistance towards microtransactions without the player noticing, catering to whales. Those are just some of the topics that come up constantly.
Catering to
during our
whales? I wonder
meetings.
what that means.
It means like in the casino sense. Like a whale is someone who comes in and spends a bunch of money.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, crazy.
Yeah.
Like a bigwig, a high roller.
I got slanged out of that one. I was like, oh wait, I'm slipping.
Yeah. So a whale is that 1% who's paying.
He explained it, Kyle.
Yeah.
Like Don is a whale
Don is a
at
whale?
the tables. Yeah.
If you can get Don.
Yeah.
No, we know who the biggest whale at the table is.
Oh yeah.
I don't even know if that's true anymore. but-
Ben,
You're
you
a
spend
whale,
more money
Ben.
on video games than I think everyone in GT.
You ate Pinocchio,
Because I like
Ben.
video games
Because
the
you like video-
most.
We're not criticizing
That's
you.
right. I am the most
Put your
video
money-
gamey.
You put your money where your mouth is. I respect that. You're gonna be broke when you're 65.
I'm broke now.
Stuff that could come
High five.
right out of Dr. Evil's mouth. Yet
Oh, we're back
nobody
at this.
seems to care how evil the methods are. After all, as long as people are having fun, why would it be a problem? If Fry went further and further on talking about just like, I can't ignore it, this is my job. How do we respond to this? What should a Fry do? Let's say you're working at a mobile game company. At the meetings, they're talking about, how can we lower the resistance towards microtransactions?
I feel like in most of the situations, I would say, hey, fight back, stand up and say, no, we shouldn't do this. We should be different. But I feel like that scene is such a terrible bottomless cesspool that there's no hope. Like if you strongly take issue with that, if that goes against your own personal values, get out. Like do something else.
I mean, that's the biggest advice is like if you don't like your job, look for another one.
I should mention, a Fry is currently working on a game, just on his or her own
Their
free
own
time.
game.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's good.
So there is that, but it just like, when that comes out in 10 years, maybe I can quit my job. But I don't think quitting the job is an option.
Well, there's a
right
difference
now.
between a
thing.
job and a career. Like
Right,
if you're,
yeah,
if you're
yeah,
looking
yeah.
at this, I mean, like, is this really what I want to do with my career?
Yeah.
No.
If you're like,
a
my
day
job
job.
is frustrating, it's like just accept it. It's just your job and work on your project and you'll get through it.
Definitely.
But it's always, I think it's always good to learn. It's like I hear that all the time. Like I'll talk to execs and other games and industries and stuff like that, and they're like, oh man, when I used to work for that sports team or at that ad agency, like the stories I could tell you.
Sure.
But like those stories, those people, those nightmare bosses that they had, and the questions that they had to ask in conferences, that they were just like, why are we talking about this?
So I agree with you, Brandon. And
It'll help you. You'll learn.
Yeah.
It'll put hair on your chest.
I've had terrible jobs that taught me so much that I'm grateful I had those experiences. I wouldn't want to go back, but I'm grateful I had those experiences. But those jobs they didn't bother me on a fundamental level. They didn't like shake me to my core. Whereas like if I was sitting at my desk working on my mobile game and some guy in a suit came in and he said, listen, how can we psychologically abuse our player base even more? Like I would be so angry and so upset that I don't think I could deal with another day of that. And I do think there's a difference, right? Where you reach a breaking point where you just can't handle it anymore.
But at the same time, one of the things that fascinates me about Galaxy of Heroes, and again, like it's tough for me to say this and sell it to other people, or like you will like this game too because it does it. It's just some weird anomaly in my brain. The act of restricting content and like having me acquire different kinds of bullshit currency to spend on other things is almost a weird game in itself in Galaxy of Heroes. Like the way they set it up, it's clear like what I have to do with the time that I have in the game to get certain means.
Oh, yeah.
So kind of juggling all these different points of like different resources and checking in on like how many of those weird silver coins do I have? Oh, I got another one. Oh, I can get Han now. Okay, I'll do this.
They have successfully psychologically abused you, Brandon.
Yeah.
They did it.
But,
Well,
but I
they're in
would be
there.
concerned about it if I didn't realize that it was happening. And so I
Yeah,
think
Right.
like there is
and also you're not spending money.
right.
Yeah. So
and-
really, they've failed.
And if the story like tried, or if the game tried to have a story and failed, then I'd be frustrated. But it doesn't even try. It's like, no, it's a game. It's a holodeck
But-
thing.
but
you know,
doesn't
so I think there's always a way to turn that around. There's always a way to make a free to play game fun, like Hearthstone. There's a rewarding, you know, like if it has the characters, you know, that you love from Warcraft that you can then, you know, apply to that. Like, I think there is a way to do it. So maybe that you can do that with your time, you know, just kind of be like, how can I make this apparent to the user and have them still love it? You know, like, we don't necessarily have to trick them. We don't necessarily have to like make them think they're going to get more than we do deliver. What if we can, you know, give them what they're expecting, but still make it fun to work towards it?
I think for me, like the missing sauce in most of these mobile games is respect for the user.
Mm-hmm.
And like I think the most evil thing to do would be to find a way to make the user feel respected whilst also tricking them into just spending a bunch of money. But like the easiest example of disrespecting the user in games like Galaxy of Heroes, in that one it has like the weird, like you can only play this game so much until your energy runs out, and then you can either buy more energy or you have to wait a few hours for your energy to come back.
Yeah.
Which is really just there. The more egregious I think of that is like building games or whatever, where it's like the building of things in your town gets slower and slower and slower and slower the more you play the game.
Clash of Clans,
Until
yeah.
later you're just like, oh, I just need this. Just, fine, take $1.
They
Finish
lowered
that.
your resistance.
They beat you down
Yeah.
until I think like games like Hearthstone. I would put in a. I mean, it's a little bit different because it feels more like DLC because it feels like a legitimate game.
I don't
almost.
think Hearthstone is free to play. Like,
Right.
I would never refer to Hearthstone as
Hearthstone, yeah,
like,
Hearthstone
truly
costs like
free-to-play game.
$20 at least. But like that game, at least it seems like you are being like they make you feel like at least they respect you. Like there's some kind of like skill in this game. I don't know. And then you
There's
pay,
not a limit to how much you can play Hearthstone.
Right.
So if you want to,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah. So it's like it's an interesting thing. I don't know. Like I think that people could get more evil and they just haven't figured it out yet. Because the truly evil
Yeah.
are your best friend. You think that they're doing you a favor. Griffith. You think that they're doing you a favor.
What is
And then
Griffith?
it's from Berserk.
Berserk.
And then all of a sudden you're like, "Oh, no, you are using me this
Yeah.
whole time."
But let's stay focused. What do we tell a Fry? What do we tell this person who has this job right now?
There's nothing you can do. You're screwed. The monster has already eaten you. Like you work at a giant. I assume you work at a large company.
Yeah,
Like
well,
you're not gonna like.
But like, think of 90% of the commercials that come out every year. It's like commercials, you know, mostly suck. Like they're mostly frustrating. You wish you weren't watching them, and it's just like every now and then, like, oh god, that one
The
spot.
way you
That's
say
so
now and
funny.
then blows my mind.
What, every now and then? Or?
You say every now and then.
every
instead of
now and then.
Every now and then.
Every now and then.
Like everyone else emphasizes then. It's very strange to me.
Every
Sorry,
now
sorry.
and then.
Yeah.
Every now and then.
but
Yeah.
Every now and then.
you get a good one, and so I think it's. I think you know the ad agency is relatively soulless by law, but there are ways to work around that, and I think it's the same case. Like
It's like
maybe
the-
try to be creative in that sense. where
Those
you're like,
Old Spice
Is
commercials.
there a way to do this?
Where like everyone was like, "I love these commercials," or like the most interesting man.
We're really bugging Ben right now.
But
We gotta get this out.
except that you don't have the power to change it. I mean, that's key. That you're
That's-
like you're not
that's the
gonna
thing.
change your bosses. You're not gonna
Be
change your
happy
coworkers.
in your like that you're getting money. Like it's a day job. If you hate your job, it's a day job, and you're there. You're trading your life for money. Like you are slowly dying to get an hourly rate. That's what's happening at your job, and then that's just a trade-off that you're making. And then try in your free time to do something that you love, like your game, your other game,
Ben's
and then
exploding.
get out as soon as you can.
it's just you're so correct, and it angers me so much. You're comparing a segment of video games as a whole, which I deeply respect and think there's great potential for, as commercials, right? As necessary evils, as soulless entities that once in a while you get a good one. When I remember, I was in college when mobile gaming blew up, and I remember the excitement. I remember endless articles being like, this is going to be the new standard. Everybody can make a game and put it on there. You're going to see so much creativity. We have an exciting new way
naive.
to play video games, and it's going to be awesome. This is the future. I marched proudly in that direction. I remember downloading new games every week, being like, whoa, you know, what is it? What is it, like Tiny Bird or what was it? The
Flappy
one where
Bird?
the one where you like hold down and it goes on hills and up
Flappy Bird,
slopes. No, it wasn't.
Oh
Flappy Bird.
yeah.
Tiny
Tiny
Wings.
Wings.
Oh, Tiny
I
Wings.
love that game.
Me too. I still love it.
I adore
Yeah.
that game, and I was
Yeah.
like, I can't wait to see more cool stuff like this,
Yeah.
or like 10,000, that really sick puzzle game. And
10 million.
over time, like with each passing day, like mobile games are at a point where now it's just blackness. Like any hope that I had for that market is gone, and it seems like it's so bad that it will never get better.
Sword and Sorcery, Monument Valley, like there's
Yeah. Did Tiny
some
Wings
fun
have
stuff
But
in
like
there.
that almost emphasizes how terrible it is. If you're like, well,
it's not as bright as we thought it would be.
But here's the
Yeah.
here's the thing though. Here's the thing though.
But it's up to him to make it brighter.
No, but here's the
know?
thing.
It's all on
here's
him.
the thing. Here's the thing. Like we have a respect for 10 Million and Monument Valley and Sword and Sorcery because they're standalone games that you can't, by and large, like you pay for it once and then you have it, right? I think the mobile space is interesting because, like, yeah, it's a vile cesspool filled with dark nothingness that are money grubbing or whatever. But then, like, the games that you actually respect are, I think, in my, like, just thinking through right now, like, the games that we would just list off as respectable mobile games are games that you just buy once and you have it, you know?
They're not making
Like,
millions.
Right, but like Lara Croft Go, for example, like, and they might put out like expansions or whatever that you can pay for, but like I think that the space isn't the nice thing is that it's not a box that can get filled. It's not a limited, it's infinite, it's not finite. So like there's plenty of room for all this garbage that is all about microtransactions and virality or whatever they said, that weird stuff, infection rate.
Yeah.
But like the games that will be remembered as like quality as art, you know, will be these other games. And I don't know that it matters. We can have both. Like it's really about the end user respecting themselves and knowing how they're spending their own time.
Yeah, I mean, personally, what I would say to a fry is jobs are jobs.
Yeah.
You don't have to look at it like
Good to
Ian,
have a job.
Don't look at it like Ian does, that it's killing you and that you need to leave immediately.
No, that's not what I said.
I'd say find tiny
I
joys.
said know what you're doing. You're trading your life for money. That's not a bad thing. That's just what you're doing.
Yes, that's a.
Just right to the point.
It's a horrible way to look at it,
Right
I
to the
think.
tip of the sword.
That's what it is. If you don't like
cutting
your
your
job, you're
arms open.
trading your life for money. That's what you're doing.
No, that is Ian. That is what most people do.
That's what everyone does.
we have, like wonderful jobs here where like it's not miserable, but like
Right.
most people, you know, jobs.
Wait, your
are
jobs
how you
aren't
subsist.
miserable? I'm doing this wrong.
Yeah.
Whoops.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I just, you know, most people can't just say, "Oh, I'm sick of this. I quit." And so I would just say, find tiny joys. You know, make it as good as you can. And obviously, it's great that you're working on your own thing.
Don't
And
get so frustrated that you
Yeah.
can't learn lessons, even though you feel powerless. And know that you know, even the dumbest thing that you're learning now, you can apply later and put into practice. And realize you're learning lessons you didn't realize you were learning.
Yeah.
Something will come up later in your career, and you'll go, "Wait, no, don't do that." Oh, wow, I'm glad I put up with that for 2 years, actually, because
Exactly.
I established that as a law in my brain, never to do that again.
And also, there are people who are just like actively poisoning us. You aren't doing that.
Like Ian. Wait, what?
Here's
no,
the
I'm
thing.
sorry. Wait, I'm sorry. What?
People view my nihilistic worldview as negative. I
Yeah.
think like trading life, energy, and time for money. It's not a negative thing. It's just a reality thing.
Okay.
I agree completely with what both of you are saying, and that is kind of what I was saying too. In my mind, is like take every moment of your life. You should be learning a lesson. You know, just be aware of accept what you're doing for what it is. And you will be very happy. Like, accept yourself for who you are, accept what you're doing for what you're doing, and you won't be distraught as much.
Sure.
love and respect.
Love and respect.
Love and respect. Thank you, Ben, that's a great way to conclude that. Everyone, thank you for submitting your love and respect questions. Sorry I double dipped, but I just couldn't help it. That was really cool.
Yeah, you shouldn't do that, though.
No, that was fun. We had a fun
That was a great conversation. That was a wonderful... You made the right choice.
Yeah.
But you shouldn't do that.
It won't happen
But you
again.
got your cooties all over the ranch dressing,
And
Kyle.
you know,
Yeah.
the next, I don't get that dumb reference.
Double dip.
I double dipped. Got it.
That's a good episode of Seinfeld about that.
Yeah.
You double
Double
dipped
dipped the chip.
I think what we should do with Seinfeld references is just slaughter them all from here on out. Like, just do bad impressions.
No soup for you.
You know that really funny one?
Yeah.
Oh,
I got a
man.
new suede jacket.
I have a puffy shirt.
Ah.
There was shrinkage. Okay.
You can hear the browsers closing. Like you can
Yeah.
literally
like, Seinfeld is funny. What's this guy's deal?
Wow,
Okay.
you just spit all over yourself.
It's theater actors. It's it's
Yeah.
just you have to.
Viscous.
If you're not spitting, you're not
Viscous.
acting.
That's not true.
If you want to
You're not
submit
hydrated
a
enough.
topic for Love and Respect, please do so in the YouTube comments, beginning your comment with Love and Respect in all caps so it's easier for me to find them. It is time for bets, gentlemen. What's
Cool.
wrong?
I don't want to end this episode without quickly revealing the side bet.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, all
That's
right,
how,
all right.
I got that listed. Do you want to
Sorry.
do it? You want to reveal
There's a
your side
side
bet right
bet?
now? That is
Is
the
it
next
better
thing.
before or after the bets?
Ben, I had it right next on
It's
the
better when
docket.
they come up naturally and seem
yeah,
exciting in
yeah.
the moment, but
Yeah.
we've ruined that.
I've ruined it.
Tell us what you're excited about, Ben.
Okay, all
What's
right,
your side
so-
bet?
Sometimes I sit right across from Michael Huber, and sometimes he will just like start screaming at me,
Yeah.
unprovoked.
Frequently.
And
Yeah,
we
not
were
sometimes.
we were talking about Digimon Cyber Sleuth, and we were really excited about it. I'm really excited about it. I started playing it last night, and he just goes, he like puts his hand on my shoulder, and he goes, I bet you won't finish that game. And then he's like, if you finish that game, I will play all 3 Danganronpa games current release before June. And so the side bet.
He always puts such bad odds on himself.
Yeah.
He's like, if I lose,
You finish that one game, I'll play 3.
I'm gonna
Right,
do this
right.
terrible
That doesn't
thing
add up
takes
at all.
I'm really
way
excited
longer.
because Danganronpa is amazing and he'll get to play it, and that's awesome. But
Yeah.
yeah, so the bet is I have to finish Digimon Cyber Sleuth by March 31st, 2016, 11:59 p.m. If I fail in that quest, I have to watch season 1 of Vikings, which was Michael
He's been
Huber's
trying to get us.
which was Michael Huber's request.
Yeah.
I just remembered that I lost a bet that I also now have to watch. I forgot about that. I should probably do that.
Didn't he
So-
just send us season 1, like a link to
He
just
sent us a
download
link
it?
to season 1.
emailed
like
it to the whole
2 days
company.
ago.
So I want to make it clear to everyone.
He's got Cassandra syndrome.
Yeah, that when he says you have to watch season 1 of Vikings, it's not like you have to touch Emily's butt. It's like he wants you to watch Vikings.
He thinks it's
Right.
great.
He
but
loves
no one
Vikings.
believes him.
Yeah.
No one believes
Well,
him.
the saddest thing is if I beat Digimon Cyber Sleuth by the time, I'm just not gonna watch Vikings, which is kind of the worst outcome for
Yeah.
him.
He
So,
loses no matter who wins, we lose.
So that is I've added it to our official side bets document. That's official.
I want to stream you
We'll check
finishing
in
the
on
game that day with Huber next to you on the couch dressed as a Viking.
And
just
maybe,
being sad the whole time,
The
like-
DVD case, we can just dump the DVDs in the
Yeah,
trash.
just shred it like somehow.
Yeah, he's got the DVD remote in his hand the whole time.
We have a simple bet for
Oh,
next week.
man.
It's about Unravel, the independent style game that is EA is publishing. And so there's a lot of weird, like, EA doesn't know quite how to advertise this game in some ways. It comes off that way, you know?
I have a quick question. Sorry to derail.
Yeah, what's wrong?
I said this to Omar the other day that I thought it was funny that Firewatch and Unravel were coming out on the same day. Do you think that'll affect? Do you think that'll bump heads?
No.
Does that
No.
overlap?
No.
No.
Okay.
I don't. I don't think it's funny at all that they're coming out on the same day.
Because to me, they're like both kind of art games, but then I guess they're not.
I think they're short enough that they'll stay. I think they're
that's
good
a
enough
good
that they'll stay relevant for 2-3 weeks, and they're
Yeah.
short enough that that'll
That you
be
can just
ample time
do
for people to
both.
play both.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I think there are definitely some people who are saying, I can't buy both today, but I think those people eventually buy both.
Like I'm gonna buy Firewatch first and then Unravel later.
I think that's a good call.
Yeah.
Oh, well, you don't have to pass judgment on Unravel right now.
No, I'm jazzed for Unravel. Unravel. I'm just gonna play Firewatch first.
Okay, all right. It's just kind of we're throwing it under the
I
bus.
can buy them both at the same time.
I
It
know.
makes
I'm
you
not
feel
saying throw it under
better,
the bus.
boss
I'm just saying
man.
thematically. I think Firewatch. Just start with Firewatch,
I'm
and
just
then
planning out my finances.
emotionally transition into Unravel. I
I'm
think
just saying
that,
they worked really hard on what Yarny looks like, and
He looks great, but it really, really bothers me
I
that
got
he
this
never
puffy
gets
shirt.
He never gets smaller.
I got this puffy shirt. What am I gonna do? I got this puffy shirt.
he's like always like, you man, Jerry.
But yeah, there's no shrinkage on Unravel guy, and it bothers me.
He's just like he's always like, these pretzels are salty. So that game is launching on Tuesday. How long
trying
will
to think of more?
How
so
long
hard.
will the end credits be? How long will the end credits of Unravel be? Ian, you will reveal first.
Okay, ready, Don? 7 minutes and 6 seconds.
Great.
Because I'm Bloodworth, and I wanted to troll him.
With 7 minutes and 6 seconds.
just by putting the arbitrary
I can't wait
second
until
count
that's
on there.
exactly it.
Because but it's a different number too.
Okay. Oh my God, Brandon, what's your bet?
3 minutes.
Okay.
Short.
My bet. I'm going long because it is an
Could
EA
do a
game
shorty.
still. 9 minutes and 4 seconds. Ben Moore.
4 minutes 35 seconds.
You want to
Oh,
flip that
Ben's
over
got
for
it.
us? There it
Ben's
is.
got it.
4 minutes 35 seconds.
And let me
Get a
lock
0 in
those
front of that?
in. Don, you
Gonna
ready
be
for
like
a lock?
401.
Okay, there it is. We're locked in.
Oh, he played his name. That's good. He didn't do it earlier, so
Put
we
my
need to
stamp
have
on that one. Yep.
We need to have that in there.
So let's talk about last week's bet. Last week also about, man, we bought about Digimon Story Cyber Sleuth all week. You know what's funny is Huber has nonstop been singing the Digimon theme song.
you said it just got in my head.
He's sung it maybe 100 times, maybe 1,000, never once correctly. For some reason,
Really?
he always gets one part of the song right. He's
Which
like,
part?
change into digital world. It's like, well, no, there's more.
because it's change into digital champions. Change
To-
your digital world.
To
isn't it?
save the digital
Change to save
If
the
Defy
digital
Media
world.
gets rid of GameTrailers.com, here's how it's going to happen.
world. Okay.
Not if.
Some poor video editor is going to walk up to somebody in a position of power and they're going to be
Yeah.
like, listen,
Yeah.
I've been with these guys for 16 months. And every day, it's some new terror. Just 100 times yesterday, the kid was saying, digital world. And then before that, they were singing In Sync, Dirty Pop, over and over again. I can't handle it. Please save me.
Oh, you mean the editors across the hallway
Oh,
who,
yeah,
who
yeah.
most certainly hear our
Yeah.
nonsense all
Oh,
day
yeah.
long?
Yeah.
Okay,
Oh,
yeah.
that's the reason they shutter us.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
that,
yeah.
that
Someone
opens the
on
conversation.
Someone on the
Yeah.
design team gets sick of Huber
Followed
constantly
by-
screaming.
Followed by they don't make any money. Like
Yeah,
that,
yeah, yeah.
it'll open with the Digimon thing.
Oh, and also,
But like we are
Wildly
probably giving them
unsuccessful.
all PTSD. Like
Yeah,
there's
yeah.
a room of like 18 editors across the hallway.
one time,
were driving
I was.
mad.
So our office is at the end of the hall.
Yeah.
And then theirs is down the hall, middle of the hall. One time I just heard Huber from down past the studio.
Yeah.
Like he was going toward the printer or something. So like in full like area of everyone, all the normals.
Yes.
Just yells, "You son of a bitch!" And I was just like, "Oh God, how do the straights deal with us?" Like,
Yeah.
oh God,
We're a kooky bunch.
we are a kooky bunch.
That released this week. Digimon Story Cyber Sleuth
What is it? Is it good? What's the deal?
is good.
It's also like wonderfully weird. It's
good.
so
It's-
weird.
It's weird. Is
Yeah.
what's good about
Is it weird that there's a Pokemon detective in the works and we've now got a Digimon detective game?
There has to be some connection.
has to be some connection.
It's a mystery.
It's like Bug's Life and ants all over again.
I honestly think Pikachu is solving more serious mysteries than the Digimon Cyber Sleuth is.
The Pikachu detective memes have really been special. I've really enjoyed all of them.
He's looking at a dead body. Pikachu is. That's
Wow.
so weird.
It's like real.
Yeah, they have to like think about what that image means before they just put out that commercial.
Have you seen
but
the
they're
Danny
like, no,
DeVito
let's go for it.
video?
I did see the Danny DeVito. video.
So good.
How many letters would be in the name of the first Digimon I battle in game?
Oh yeah.
Jones, you in the super seat bet 8 letters. I bet 7. Bloodworth bet 9. So we're all very close. I had the low bet. Bloodworth had the high bet. 8
Blood-
would go to Jones in the super seat.
Bloodworth wins. See you next week.
The name of the first Digimon I did battle with is Kur E Sa Ri Mon.
Bloodworth wins.
That's 11 letters.
Bloodworth wins.
Wait, Bloodworth had 7 or 9?
9.
He had 11. He had 9. He had the high bet. Yeah.
I'm in the chair and I'm displeased.
Yep.
Yeah, Kurisairmon.
I win
Kurisairmon
and
got us.
I don't want it to win.
Yeah.
It's kind of like how only Thor can hold Mjolnir, like only blood can win. Like it's just some
Milner?
weird
What's the
Yeah,
name
yeah.
of this?
Mjolnir.
Is that the name of the
Mjolnir.
hammer?
MJOLNIR.
I loved the part. Say what you will about those crappy movies, but I loved the part of
Just meow meow?
when they were talking. When they were talking about you put the hammer in an elevator. The elevator lifts the hammer. It's not worthy. It's a machine. You know, like they're like all butt hurt because the vision or whatever.
Yeah.
But in Thor,
It was
one
funny.
of her friends calls it meow meow. It was
Really?
Like, meow meow.
Meow
I
meow?
was like, okay, Thor movie, meow meow. You had me.
yeah.
It's a
I think
silly-
that makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense that Natalie Portman in real life.
It's her Natalie Portman's friend.
Yeah,
Natalie
okay.
Portman's smart enough to call it Mjolnir, but her friend is dumb.
Oh, her friend is Kat Dennings.
Maybe, yeah.
Okay.
Who's that?
You know, she's one of
Two
those
broke girls?
two broke girls.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
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 Y'all watch that show, Two Broke Girls?
No, I never did. I thought it was canceled 3 years ago.
It's funnier than Seinfeld. I kid you not.
No way.
It's real good.
Yeah, because like
And it keeps
honestly,
getting
like
better.
they make lots of sex jokes.
I
They're
like
not
those
scared
sex
to make
jokes.
sex
I like
jokes.
those sex jokes, Kyle.
And some of this stuff is like, I can't believe this is on TV.
Whoa. They're so broke.
And you know what the other thing is? Because they all live in New York, they're allowed to be racist, and it is so funny.
I know you're doing a bit, but it's a risky bit.
It's a risky.
Risky bitness.
So Bloodworth. Let me go through the points. Super Seat 3, Bloodworth 1, Jones 0, Bossman 1. Ian, because you are basically Bloodworth. You have the right and responsibility to tell everyone your Twitter name. Promote one video on GameTrailers.com or anywhere, I guess. And you get the final word on anything that was said in this episode that you disagree with, and then close us off with your trademark sign off.
Okay. Well, let's get a shot. There we go. Sorry.
Ian is directing Don very rudely.
Oh my God.
Camera on me.
Okay. So my Twitter is Ian Hink. Let's see that lower.
He's waiting. Oh my gosh. Poor Don. At Ian
There
Hink.
it
There it is.
There
Okay.
it is. Just soak it in. Okay, and then the video I want to pitch. Pitch? No.
Promote.
Promote.
Or
thank
plug.
you.
I like
plug.
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 Yeah. Okay, promote. We'll do promote.
This is just a random one that I literally just thought of right now.
Whoa.
But there's a video of the technical director of that Grease Live, and she is crushing it.
This isn't how we're supposed to do these.
No, it's awesome. Watch
Okay,
it. Find
alright.
it. Watch it. She's calling the cameras in the beat
During Grease Lightning,
constantly.
like singing the song basically with calls.
Yeah, she's just like ready. A 2 3 A 2.
It's faster. It's like
yeah,
2,
but it's
2,
like way
3,
faster.
camera
And then
4,
it's just
4,
like
4, go
8 bars.
5,
1,
5, like
2,
crazy.
3.
So you
4,
found inspiration
5.
in this video.
I just thought it was really cool because
Yeah.
like technically it's like this hard, and she's just like super calm, just
Yeah.
like doing it, and it's awesome. She's a pro.
Cool.
I liked that video a lot. And then what was the? Oh, wait, I disagree with the way I was represented in my "you're wasting your life on your job" thing. That's
Sure.
not what I was saying.
What are you saying?
I was simply saying.
Give the Fry some advice right now.
I'm just saying, like, know what it is that you're doing. I said it, I think, pretty succinctly before, but I just
Yeah.
want to know that I want you to know that I'm not saying like you're throwing your life away. I'm just saying it's a trade. You're trading your bodily fluids, your essence, for money, and that's what you're doing. And like, just know what you're doing, and then you'll be happier for it. You know, that's what I'm saying. Whatever. And then good night and good game.
I love